to be here. Um, it's great to be alive.
Amen.
I am one of those who, young in life, I was probably picked to succeed. And I made good grades. I had wonderful parents. I got a college degree from a nice university. I had a good job. I worked with an oil field supply company there, and I traveled all over the world. Even lived in Cairo, Abu Dhabi, Bahrain. But I got hooked on alcohol, and that led to problems with other drugs, speed, meth, as most of you know it. Ultimately, I found that cocaine was my drug of choice, and couldn't make enough money to supply my habit. It's costing me anywhere between $150 and $200 a day to maintain my high. And you can't kind of make that kind of money in the working world and still pay your mortgage and all that. So I said bye to my family and my mortgages and my lifestyle. And I just chased a little white drug wherever I could find it, wherever I could do it. If you had some, fine. And my life deteriorated. My purpose in life deteriorated. My ambition was gone. I didn't feel like I had any reason to live. My parents died untimely deaths back in '95, and 6 months after that, I lost my oldest brother. And 6 months after that, I lost my other brother. I was all alone with all the bills and all the funerals. Nobody really wanted to be around me because I was a hurt person, and I would find a way to hurt you. And I found that I had chased off everybody in the world that really cared about me. The only people that still wanted me, they didn't care about my college degree and my good upbringing. I just broke the law. I got thrown in with the mix. Nowadays, when you get out of prison, they don't just say bye to you and hand you some money and wish you good luck. You've got to have an address if you're still on parole to parole out to, so they can supervise you and see where you are. I didn't have any family. I had no place to parole out to. I had served my time successfully, even got out a little early. I did everything I could to get out of that place. It's no place you want to be. And so since I had no place to be, there was a state-funded halfway house in Beaumont that they sent me to. And it was understaffed, and it was run by people who didn't care and saw everybody in there basically as outcasts and animals. They wouldn't let people take their medications. They wouldn't let them get jobs. They wouldn't let them see their families. They couldn't make telephone calls. And it was a treatment center is what it was. And by that time, I had gotten clean, and I had found God, and I was ready to get on with my life, but they wouldn't let me out of this place. And most people were there 4 to 6 months, and I was there for a year and a half. I saw that place turn over 3 and 4 times. And people would come in from prison, and I knew my way around so well and knew all the counters that they thought that I worked there. You know? And but I was fortunate enough to get a job there. And I punched out at 5:30 every morning and had to punch in at 5:30 every day for a year and a half. But it taught me how to save my money. It taught me how to get some goals. It taught me how to get my life back together. Even though I was alone in the world, I knew God was with me because now I realized that He had purpose in my life. And through a twist of fate, somehow Galanda's ministry got known in the Beaumont Center down there. And I was able to get her number and call her, and I said, please, Galanda, can you get me out of this place? And I've got some money in the bank, and I can support the ministry, and I don't have no home, and I want to go somewhere. I want to get out of here, and I want to be of use to somebody. And God has done some great things in my life. I want to share that. Make a long story short, the devil kind of gave us a hard time there for a while, but within 6 weeks or so, I was here in Longview. I was at 1309 down there and finished my parole there. While I was there, Galanda could see that God was doing something in my life and that I did have myself pretty much back in focus, so she let me teach the recovery programs there. And by working with those guys in the recovery program, I branched out into two other recovery programs. And now 4 evenings a week, I'm working with groups in recovery programs and helping them get their lives together, get their marriages back together, get their children back together, finding treatment centers for their children to go to, and a member of a wonderful church, Longview Christian Fellowship, right down the road. And God is using me and blessing me. And every opportunity I've got to support Galanda and her ministry, I just want you to know that it's a real hands-on thing, and that God is using it, and it's going to go on.
Amen.
Thank you.
Before I bring up the next speaker, I just want to say that it is important that when people come out and they come out and their heart is with God, because in prison they have a lot of time to study the Word. As you notice, they say that they make those little saying they only get saved when they get in prison, but they do. They get a lot of time to study the Word. But what happens is when they get out, society don't want to use them. So now the Word is up in them, and then they're frustrated. They don't know what to do. So what I like to do is I see potential in everybody. And so what Mr. Lake is talking about is that when he came to the ministry, although he had a criminal background and I knew his charges was and everything like this, I saw God's purpose on his life. Because I know God creates everybody with a purpose. And because I'm able to tap into what God's purpose is on his life and cause him to use it, it causes him to go further. And that's something for somebody here tonight. The next young lady I want to bring up is someone that I'm just elated. I'm so pleased within the short period of time that she's been a part of the ministry and she still is part of the ministry, that she has achieved goals that I know God is working with her and blessing her, and I speak into her life every time I get a chance to talk to her, because I can see what he's doing. And all I do is just root her on and keep on going in the things that she's doing right now in Longview. And her name is Antoinette Stokes.